Welcome to Sandler Con Software's Accounts Receivable Electronic Funds Transfer Demo video. AR EFT is one of the 4 modules of the eBanking suite for Solomon. The other modules include AP EFT, Positive Pay, and Lockbox Processing. Since 1996, Sandler Con Software has been building application products for Microsoft Solomon. Our payroll direct deposit and work order modules, both produced by Sandler Con Software, have been purchased by Solomon and included in the core offering. In addition, we offer products that relate to the project series and the manufacturing series of Solomon. Let's take a look at an overview of what AR EFT is all about. Electronic funds transfer refers to electronically moving funds from one account to another. In AR EFT, it involves getting funds from your customers' accounts and moving them electronically into your account. This whole process of EFT is facilitated by the National Automated Clearinghouse, or NACHA. This is a national association that includes a number of member banks throughout the U.S. that have come together and created a standard, the ACH or NACHA standard, that is used to allow for the transfer of funds seamlessly from bank to bank and company to company. Electronic funds transfer is defined as having funds transferred guaranteed within a 48-hour period. This is to distinguish it from wire transfer, which is guaranteed to clear within 6 hours. The wire transfer functionality is managed by the Federal Reserve System, whereas EFT is managed by the National Automated Clearinghouse. This product supports EFT and not wire transfer. In our product, we use what's called the debit method, and that means that you as a customer go out to your customer's account and pull money from their account and deposit it into your account. You initiate the debit transaction from your customer's account. Number of uses for this product. By all means, this list is not all inclusive. That includes recurring payments, whereby you have on a regular basis payments that are to be paid to you by your customers, and that may be best facilitated by doing electronically. Subscriptions, where on a regular basis, annually or every 6 months or something, you need to go and pay for a subscription that your customer has purchased from you. Also renewals, if you have a support agreement or something of that sort that needs to be on a renewal basis, again, your customer may wish and you may wish to pull that money into your account electronically. Let's take a look at some of the features in Sandler Con's implementation of AR EFT. Again, as I mentioned, we use the NACHA standard, which is a standard used throughout the United States by all member banks, and we can guarantee that our software will work with this standard and your bank because of them being members of that group. Also, the product supports flexible file formats for any non-US bank. Out of the box, we have 3 Canadian formats that are built into the product, and other formats for other banks in other countries throughout the world can be easily added to the product. The product supports payment notification via email, which means that as we remove money from your customer's account and deposit it into your account, at the same time, at the end of that process, we can transfer and send an email to the customer indicating to them the details of that transmission. The product fully supports multi-company and multi-account, whether it's multi-company in one database or multiple databases, and or whether you have multiple accounts within the same Solomon database, maybe for the same bank or different banks. All of those combinations are fully supported by AR EFT. The software supports a number of communications options. Once your file is created to do the EFT transfer, we need to send that file to your bank as part of the NACHA system. We support built-in communications, which is a full serial communications protocol. We support web transfers, which are becoming more and more common. If your bank requires proprietary software on your system, that can be installed, and our software will automatically call that software. Virtually any communication option requirement that is needed is supported by our software. The product is fully seamlessly integrated with Salomon Financials. It's written with the VB tools, and therefore when you see the product, the look and feel is identical to Salomon and is very, very tightly integrated directly with Salomon AR. The product fully supports pre-notification. Pre-notification is that process whereby in advance of an EFT you notify your customer, you notify the Nacha system, with their banking information, the transit routing and account number that you're going to pull the money from, to verify that that is valid information before the first live EFT. Our software has a number of automation processes and setup options so that that's done very effortlessly. And finally, the AR EFT supports a full archiving functionality so that when you're creating your EFT files to send them, you can optionally archive those files for historical purposes. Now we'll get to the demo portion of the video, and we'll review here what we're going to cover. First, we're going to take a look at customer banking entry. This is a screen whereby you can designate a subset or all of your customers to be EFT customers, and at this point you would set up their their customer banking information, their transit routing, account number, that kind of thing. In order for AR EFT to know which invoices to go and collect electronically, it's done with an EFT terms code, a special terms code you've set up in AR that will designate an invoice as an EFT invoice. This terms code can be applied at invoice and memo entry, or it can be applied later. The next step is that you select those invoices for EFT, and that's done, again, as I mentioned, when you create the invoice, you can put the terms code on it, or just as you're about to take a look at your invoices, you can go in a global manner or individually and one by one select those invoices that you want to pay electronically. Of course, if you wanted, you could set up a customer with a default terms code that was an EFT, and therefore very easily always they would be sent, their payments would be made electronically. Once there's been selected those invoices for payment, you would create and send the EFT file to the bank. That process goes out and takes a look at those invoice batches that have EFT coded invoices. They're selected, an audit report is printed, the ACH file is created, and then the communication option is automatically invoked and the file is transferred to your bank. At the end of the process, after you've sent the file to the bank has accepted it. Back in Salomon, we then automatically create the AR payment application batch to show that that invoice was paid via EFT. And the final step, if you've set it up, is that then payment advices can be emailed to those customers that you've just withdrawn money and deposited into your account. Let's now take a look at the actual demo on Salomon. Accounts receivable EFT, all the applications are found in the eBanking suite for Salomon menu. First, let's take a look at customer banking entry. This application is where you indicate which customers have been set up for EFT. Let me take a look at a couple that we're going to use this afternoon. One is this CT100. And for Denise Smith, we've set up that she has a certain entry class, CCD+, her ABA bank transit routing number we enter here, and her bank account number. This is the account where we will be pulling the money from, depositing into our account. And then we have the pre-note status. Also on this screen is where any email setup options would be established. And in this case, we've set up that Denise is not going to be receiving an email. Let's take a look at another customer, Eric Rothenberg. He is also an EFT customer, but in this case we're setting up an email address for him. Eric, we could pull it from the customer maintenance screen if we had set up emails in customer maintenance, and we would just check that box. In this case we're not going to do that. I'm going to send the email to myself so we can demonstrate it. It's going to go to my Hotmail account. So what we have here are a subset of our customers that are going to receive EFT. Because they're in this screen, it doesn't mean that every one of their invoices has to be paid through EFT. You can pay some of their invoices or not. So this is the customer banking entry. Let's now go and take a look at how we would actually process an AR EFT